Okay, Larry, it's time for the theme song.
Yeah, Bob. What do I do?
Let's see. I know! You play the guitar.
Bob, I don't have any hands.
Oh, you're right. Well, okay, you play this.
I don't want to play that. I'll look silly.
Oh, come on. It'll be fun.
Nope, not gonna do it.
It's for the kids.
Oh, okay. But they better not laugh.
All right, better get on out there.
Veggie tales, 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 veggie tales.
Broccoli, celery, gotta be.
I was amazed that all my dreams were coming true. What I wanted to do for God, my dream to build what I thought could be, a Christian Disney. It was all coming true. Unfortunately, on the inside of the company, everything was starting to fall apart. And we had grown too fast. I didn't go to business school. I got kicked out of Bible college after 3 semesters for failing chapel. We finally we produced our own feature film. We were doing shows in theme parks. We were doing books. We were doing, music. But we ran out of money. We spent too much. We grew too fast. We made some bad, sales projections. We ended up in a lawsuit with a former distributor who said we'd breached a verbal agreement. A year later, the lawsuit was overturned, but in the meantime, we lost. And
everything.
A judge in Dallas, Texas, granted them an $11 million judgment against my company, and it put us into bankruptcy. So in November of 2003, I found myself, after this amazing journey, sitting in the back row of a bankruptcy courtroom in Chicago, Illinois, watching everything I had done, every character I'd created, every song I'd written, every story I had told, get packed up in a box and sold to the highest bidder. And I could not figure out why God would let that happen. I didn't blame him. I never said, you did this to me. But what I did say was, you could have helped. Why didn't you show up in the courtroom? And I couldn't understand why. And finally, all my friends, and the company that I'd built were all packed up and relocated to Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in Chicago still. And it left me sitting there by myself. I felt like with this God that had watched me fall down the stairs and hadn't raised a finger to help. And then slowly, I started listening. And he started whispering to me, first through other people, and then finally directly, but he started to show me what I had done. First of all, he started to point out how miserable I had become, because I really wasn't designed to run a 200-person company, but I was rolling this rock up a hill that I felt I'd been called to roll, to build a Christian Disney, to be a Christian Disney. And what God pointed out to me was that he didn't call me to do that. He really called me to tell the stories that he laid on my heart. And I was grafting on all these other things, a lot out of my own insecurity. I was raised by a single mom. My dad walked out when I was 9. I was a middle child. I was shy. I spent my high school years in the basement making films, not going to the prom or hanging out with friends. And I felt invisible. And I got so busy that I almost killed myself. And what I discovered is God didn't let it fall apart because he didn't love me. He let it fall apart because he loved me so much. And he didn't want to see me in that shape. What I discovered is I had made the work I was doing for God more important to me than my relationship with God. And so my entire early adult life was pursuing this dream to find my worth in what I could do for the kingdom and what I could do for Christ. And to suddenly find myself in a place where I was in Christianity Today magazine. People were talking about me all over the world. I thought, yes, God must be pleased because I'm pulling it off. I'm working so hard. And I almost killed myself doing that. And I discovered that until I was ready to do nothing for God and just rest in my relationship with him, I really wasn't ready to do anything for God. In the U.S., there are now 3 Christian film schools that are turning out Christian filmmakers. And so I'll bump into these kids, and they're coming out of art school, they're coming out of film school, and they're completely fired up about writing that one-hit Christian movie, or making that one-hit Christian song, or starting that one-hit Christian ministry that can change everything, that can save the world. And what I've really become convicted of is that if all these kids, if all of us, rather than focusing on trying to write that one-hit Christian thing that will change everything, would focus on walking with God on a daily basis, that the world would change. And the reason is because the world doesn't learn about God by watching Christian television. The world learns about God by watching Christians. What I discovered is, I think where I went off track is when I started making 20-year plans for what I wanted to do for God, and then praying that He would show up and bless them. And I realized that if I'm a Christian, if I've given Christ lordship of my life, where I am in 20 years is none of my business. Where I am in 5 years is none of my business. Where I am tomorrow is none of my business. The only thing that is my business is, what has He asked me to do today, and am I doing it? Am I walking with Him? Am I sharing His love with every person I encounter, including the girl who's bagging my groceries at the grocery store?
If you like to talk to tomatoes, if a squash can make you smile, if you like to waltz with potatoes up and down the produce aisle, have we got a show for you?
VeggieTales, 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 VeggieTales.
Broccoli, celery, gotta be
VeggieTales.